Hey, this is Matt once again. What about to the video? The paid request this time for OtakuGamingHD. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And OtakuGamingHD wanted me to talk about an episode of Medium. Season 6, Episode 6, called Bite Me. Now, I never seen Medium. I knew of the show. For those who don't know, it lasted about 7, 8 seasons, maybe 7. And it starred Patricia Arquette. Now, I remember Patricia Arquette from Number on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. She's been in a lot of other stuff as well. She was the star of this, and Jake Weber, who you may remember from the Dawn of the Dead remake. He was a Michael? I forget. He was a pretty good character in that. He was a guy that talked about how he used to work at a store, and kind of the guy that kind of kept the group together, the level-headed guy. Spoiler alert, if you've seen the Dawn of the Dead remake, he's a guy that realizes he's been bit. He's going to kill himself, and it cuts away. You hear the shot. That's the last scene before the end credits sequence. He plays the husband to Patricia Arquette. So it was nice to see him in there. He's a good actor. They have 3 daughters. And this is a Halloween episode. And the gimmick is that Patricia Arquette has a gift. She can see visions of the dead, among other stuff. Just a lot of times it comes through in like visions or dreams or nightmares. I haven't seen really any of the show, so I don't know specifically what all the details are. I guess at this point she had a tumor and she had surgery. She was in a coma for a bit, and now she's recovering. She will work with the police on crimes. Well, what was interesting about this is because of the Halloween episode, it's very much a Night of the Living Dead episode, where because it's the Halloween season, the kids are watching that movie on TV. They can show the movie, of course, because it's public domain. And in the real world, this funeral director is missing, but then when she goes to sleep, she dreams herself in the movie. And there's actually some pretty good visuals in this, where it looks like Patricia Arquette is in Night of the Living Dead, where the Johnny, the guy who played him, is like here, and then she's here, like walking by him. Some pretty good stuff. Now, granted, for the most part, maybe they didn't have the budget. I wish they had done more of that. What I mean by that is when she gets in the house, she meets Jake Webb, a version of her husband, a version of her 3 girls, but they're not actually them. They're whoever in this universe. And they're in the house. It's pretty much them in black and white, and there's a bit of zombie here and there. But I wish there was a bit more of them playing that aspect off of interacting with characters of the movie and like taking their lines, and she's answering them in her own way. Like the stuff between her and the Johnny from the movie, that was kind of the more interesting part. The rest of it just felt like, okay, she's in this world and everything's in black and white. But if there was... You don't really have any of the other characters from Night of the Living Dead. The black guy ain't in it? No, he's not in it. Cooper, nobody else is in it. And I thought that was kind of a mistake where they could have... Because it got to a minute where you kind of forget it was Night of the Living Dead and you just go, okay, some black and white movie. But I will say, with that said, I thought it was an interesting concept. I like Patricia Arquette. seems pretty decent in this role. I like the idea that there's these zombies and there's certain weird things she sees, like a guy with a certain jacket or certain chemicals, and also the dangers of she gets scratched, she wakes up, there's scratches on her arm. She's been on the ankle, she wakes up, looks like a bite on the ankle. And I thought Jake Weber did a good job, being a husband, trying to deal with this, not being a dickhead, not being completely dissing her or dismissing her. Did you easily fall into that whole dismissal? What the fuck? He's like, what the hell happened? And even that bite, like the doctor says something, and Jay Weber goes, well, it's not like she's going to be able to bite herself. It's like back of her calf. Oh, no, 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 no. Was it psychosomatic? Something about how psychologically somehow that was created. And you tell the Jay Weber, like, unsure to buy that. But he's trying to be a good husband. He's like, hey, I'll stay awake, and I'll watch you. If something happens, I will. If something happens, then I'll wake you up. And I thought Patricia Arquette and Jay Weber worked fairly well together. And even the stuff in the real world, like how the clues pieced together, I thought was kind of neat. Like what the scratches mean. The guy in the jacket pertained to this guy who is in a real cemetery and he's out of it because he's acted like a zombie because he's drugged up in this thing called wet that has these certain chemicals in it. And you found that the funeral director that was missing is dead. And pretty much how the clues in this dream of being in the movie relates to these clues in the real world. Oh, another weird random bit. I didn't really understand this. But at the very beginning, spoilers, at the very beginning, Patricia Arquette's talking about dreams and about how they can, dreams are our getaway. Dreams, you're only truly free in dreams. And there's like a montage of different types of footage, old footage, cartoons of people dreaming. But it's like, well, what if we do or can die in our dream, but it's like a heart attack or he died in his sleep? Would we really know? But then Patricia Arquette wakes up and it's Elvira. It's like Elvira. Cassandra Pearson. It's Elvira. And I thought that was going to lead to something. No. So what the fuck was that about? It's just, did she dream that she was Elvira? But that never, like, if she said, like, that was just a very weird, we don't put this in because it's Halloween, remember Elvira. I mean, it was cool to see Elvira, but it was just so random, it was never explained afterward, that just, I don't get it, but. So, that was a bit weird. And like I said, I do wish there was more characters from the Night of the Living Dead movie that Patricia interacted with. Like the way, again, she was interacting with Johnny. But I guess to be honest, if you watch the movie. But at the same time, this is not Barbara, this is Patricia Arquette. So she could, like, put her in place of another character and then talking to Ben or Cooper or anybody else. Also, I didn't care about the side plot with one of the girls, I think the middle daughter. She had a spider for class, and the spider died, and I guess she has the same gift or something, because she keeps seeing the dead spider alive, and like come out of a teacher's mouth. And then it pretty much leads to, oh yeah, she wanted me to know that she has eggs. I didn't give a shit about the whole subplot. I really didn't. I'm like, the stuff with Patricia Arquette in the movie, black and white, her work with Jake Weber, and then how that pertains to investigation, like, okay, that's what the scratches mean. Oh, that's what this one thing means. That was the most interesting part for the whole thing. I even find out that the daughter of this funeral director, your name, is it short for Barbara? Oh yeah, actually yeah. So, oh, Barbara, like the movie, you Barbara. See, that stuff was cool. Maybe it's predictable for other people, but I still thought it was cool. And also the idea, spoiler alert, that what's going on is the daughter of the funeral director killed her father because the father found out what her other business was, and that was taking embalming fluid, which had these certain chemicals, and sell them as drugs. So people got this thing called wet that really fucks you up, and she's been selling that on the side. Thus why, even though the funeral business is down, she's ordered 3 times the amount of these chemicals, because that's how she's making her money. And the father found out, and the bite on the is she had bit him. Thus, they can prove that it's you by looking at the bite marks on the victim. The scratches is from when the father tried to scratch her, and that's why the daughter has these scratches on her arm. Like, that was cool. I mean, I could. It depends. I like CSI Miami. I love that show. I love Monk with Tony Shalhoub. I love that show. I love House MD. Doesn't mean I love any show like that, but that stuff I didn't get curious about, of piecing the clues. Okay, this is how things connect to each other. That aspect was kind of more the most interesting part to me. And then in the Night of the Living Dead, maybe because I'm not a diehard Night of the Living Dead guy, I'm more of a Dawn of the Dead guy. And yes, there is a reference because Jake Weber. Oh, are they showing that movie with the mall? Jay Weber says it because he was in the remake of that. So he does reference that. I thought that was a fun bit of a reference. Because I do like the Dawn of the Dead remake, although I do prefer George Romero's film. So it was an interesting episode. Like I said, Patricia Arquette and Jake Weber looked like they worked well together. Not sure about their kids. Don't care about the kids. I really don't. Again, that whole subplot with the spider, you could take that, fucking throw it. Throw it away. If you heard that, that's one of my cats trying to claw in. They don't like that either. Cat don't like the cornbread either. No, the cat didn't like that damn subplot either. But overall, I have to say I didn't mind it. It was interesting. So if you're a diehard fan of Night of the Living Dead, I know I spoiled it, Season 6, Episode 6, called Bite Me. It does not bite, you know. It's actually decent. If you're a diehard Night of the Living Dead fan, and it's the Halloween season, give it a look if you want. Again, I can see why he requests this. Oh, it is interesting idea. There's another movie, Mimesis, where its characters kind of get into a Night of the Living Dead situation. That I thought was pretty decent. Yeah, I think it's called Mimesis. That I actually didn't mind. But, yeah. Yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. So with that said, thanks for watching. Oh, and that's another show I did like, was The Dead Zone with Anthony Michael Hall. I just hate the way it ended, because I thought it ended like on a cliffhanger. There was no ending. So that sucked. But I do remember liking the first couple seasons of The Dead Zone. So it kind of reminded me a bit of that. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.